Hello everyone, welcome to our last sideboard for this day of the Invitational, the first day. That's it for those guys, it's just us, and then we're closing this show out. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the tournament and how it's gone so far. First off, we have our lone undefeated player remaining. Joe Bernal triumphed over Todd Anderson.
That's right, we saw that the last game on camera. He's got a very unique four-color Stone Blade list. He's got Lingering Souls, as Joe Bernal is wont to do, but he's also got Abrupt Decay, Jace, lots of very, lots of things like that. Very unique matchup, especially with the Shardless Agent Cascade variant that he and Jerry, I believe they were the only two that were playing that list. So, but very unique matchup.
That's correct. I'm going to very casually clip my mic on here
Sure.
before we move on. We had a number of players who also managed to go undefeated in the actual Legacy Open. Or sorry, Legacy portion, I should say. Legacy Opens on Sunday. We had Adam Prozac, whom you saw actually notch that 4-0. He's playing Storm. Moving on, we've got Dave Thomas, well known for playing a lot of Dredge, but not playing Dredge this week. He went with Esper Blade. Esper Blade was a big deck on the weekend. We had a lot of players on it. I think we even might have a few more going 4-0. No, we just had Joe Bernal, right? Joe Bernal on the 4-color blade.
Yeah, Samuel Friedman was 3-0 going into the last round, lost his last round, and so the only Esper Blade deck was actually by David Thomas, who's not exactly known as that sort of pilot, but most of the 4-0s were either combo, which has made a random resurgence here at the Invitational. Lots of Belcher decks went 3-1s. And Adam Prozac, of course, going 4-0 with Ad Nauseam Tendrils, and Deathrite Shaman, which, of course, has been the talk of the town ever since people had figured it out.
Yeah, the bug control deck using mostly Abrupt Decay and Deathrite Shaman as its new weapons, definitely a factor. I know that's like the primary incentive for Joe to stretch into a fourth color for his Stoneblade deck, which is otherwise very conventional as far as I think Esper Stoneblade Let's Go is just splashing into that green to get access to Abrupt Decay mostly. Moving down the list, we had Grand Prix champion Jacob Wilson on Rug Delver, pretty stock choice for strong competitive player.
Yeah, interesting that not a lot of players had chosen Rug Delver for this Invitational, considering how popular it had been at previous Invitationals. But Abrupt Decay, Deathrite Shaman, Rest in Peace, all cards from Return to Ravnica, all cards that have a big impact on that deck, and so it's not too surprising to see a downswing in that deck. But it going entirely away was never going to happen, and so a lot of players were still on that, and Jacob Wilson going undefeated in the Legacy portion.
I was actually surprised. I kind of expected Bug Delver to take off, people trying to use their weapons against them, as it were, but hasn't really happened. There's been a lot of lashback against the Graveyard, I think, because of Deathrite Shaman. We even saw Jotun Grunt in Lauren Nolan's Stoneblade list doing some work on camera, so that's worth looking out for.
Yeah, a lot of people realized that Deathrite Shaman and things like Nimble Mongoose and Tarmogoyf, well, not necessarily Tarmogoyf, but definitely Nimble Mongoose, not exactly where you want to be with a tempo deck.
Yeah.
And so that you would much prefer have the burn spell to be able to pick off little creatures rather than having the more controlling elements. Plus, when you dip into Bug Delver, you want to have Jace as your end game.
Speaking of bug players, we had Reed Duke go undefeated with his own take on the archetype, and Jerry Thompson, whose list you saw a couple times, packing some Shardless Agents, Bug Agent as we've come to call it, notched a 4-0 in Legacy, putting him at a strong win percentage for Legacy for one of the first times in recent memory in Invitational. It's been the format he's struggled in perennially. So
both Jerry and Todd running the Shardless Agent Ancestral Vision version that Jerry came up with. Jerry has an unhealthy obsession with Ancestral Vision. It's good to see him finally doing well in a Legacy event after a couple of Invitationals.
Yeah, Jerry's well known for converting strong standard records into Invitational top 8s on the back of some weak Legacy performances, so he's firing on both cylinders.
That's right.
Could be trouble for those guys.
And Todd as well, who's coming off of a championship at the last
He's coming off a win, looking to repeat. So we've got those two horses amongst 96 others.
That's right.
In tomorrow's tournament. So we'll be back tomorrow for day 2. That's it from us. We're going to go ahead and throw you guys to the replays. Enjoy.
SCG Live is brought to you by Star City.